I resent but love him. My husband, 38 years old M, and I, 33 years old W, have been together for 11 years, married 5. When we met, I disregarded all red flags because he came into my life and made it better. He helped and still helps with my 2 kids that were before him, and he paid all rent. So it was easy to miss the red flags. Plus, I was very young at the time. We have a 6-year-old autistic daughter together that needs her own room, backyard, and space. I divorced him last year because he got a government loan and was making late payments and also just flat out not paying them, and I didn't want to be tied to any of his financial troubles as I was focused on my goals to buy a home. We still love together because it's hard to live on one income, and he wouldn't qualify for an apartment. So we've been cohabitating. Throughout the years, he's been great to us. But the big red flag that I didn't notice was he is very financially irresponsible. He's had his car repoed twice since being together. The first time he lied and said they had the wrong car. Second time, he didn't want to get it fixed, so he let it go back. So the reason why I resent him, because of his repos and abandoning an apartment, his credit is horrible. I spoke with him about my future goals when we first got together. I've always been financial responsible, pay my bills on time, and always had great credit. I took the initiative to fix his credit so that we can build this future together. I fixed it to where he was finally able to get a secured credit card to help with his score. I taught him how to use the card and when to pay it off, etc. I wrote letters to the bureaus to get things erased and disputed a lot of things as well. Things started to look up. A few months later, I asked him about the card. He tells me they closed it. I asks why because he never tells me anything unless I ask, and most times the answer is a lie because he's too prideful to ask for help or to let me know his downfalls, which is why that first repo happened. They closed it because he used more than the limit and was missing payments. Keep in mind, I'm always reminding him my plan is to get my babies a house to live in. So he screws the credit repair up that I worked so hard to do over a 6-month time frame. Fast forward to now, everything he does irritates me to the highest degree. He's always broke. I've tried to help him learn to budget his money like I do. He wasn't listening. His bills were always late. He pays 80% rent, car insurance, and groceries, and little miscellaneous things like that, the kids to the trampoline park. I do the rest. Although he has supervisor experience, he's comfortable making $20 per hour with a wife and 3 kids. He gets comfortable in everything he does, whether that's good or bad. My dad gave me my mom's van after she passed. He's been driving it since his last repo. Now there's so much to fix on it. He only gets the oil changed, driving it into the ground. In the year 2024, I worked a ton of OT, 17 hours, 7 days a week, WFH, to pay off my $20K truck and $30K credit card debt of mine. A lot of this debt comes from me having to pick up his slack on things. I also saved for a down payment on a home. I'm closing on February 13, 2025. I've enabled him a lot. Here's the thing. I don't want him moving with me to enjoy the fruits of my labor after constantly warning him to get his crap together for years, and even helping him out so that we can do this together. I love him and the way he parents the kids, but everything else is very annoying to me. He doesn't know how to ride bikes. That's something I've always dreamed of doing as a family. He doesn't know how to fix anything. I build everything in the apartment. Bikes, TV stands, beds, etc. He doesn't like cleaning up. It's so much I can go into detail that I really dislike about him. He doesn't take time to gift me like I do him. He just buys me the same $25 to $100 gift card for Christmas when he gets to open several gifts. I have to constantly get in him about the smallest things. Leaving cups on side of the sofa overnight, putting things back where he found them, etc. I'm tired of being his mom. I feel like I have a man-child. So back to current day. I think I'm undiagnosed ADHD. LOL. He's finally making an effort of getting himself together only because I'm in the home stretch of closing on my first home without him because he wouldn't qualify. I told him it's best we separate, and he goes stay with his dad because he didn't qualify for an apartment either because of his credit. I don't like him, but I love him. We haven't went to counseling, but we've talked about it. I can't bring myself to make the appointment because I feel I've already put in enough work. He hasn't because he didn't like taking care of business. Any kind of business. I feel he needs to just go to his dad's home when I close on my home to get himself together, and so that I can have some peace. It's gotten to the point where I'm disrespectful to him when we get into an argument. All I can think about is all I've done to better him and teach him things so we can do life together. Just for him to throw it out the window. Now I have our daughter that needs her space because she's never had her own room because we're in a 3-bedroom apartment and the teenagers, boy and girl, need their own room. So our daughter has been sleeping in the room with us. That was enough for me to kick up gears and hurry to buy a house. But not enough for him to change. Should we separate? What would you do? I don't really benefit from him staying other than about 4 things. Not enough for me to be unhappy. I'm tired of living anxious. I've completely lost myself in this relationship. It's like he's never tried to better himself until now that I'm about to close on my home.